Did you know that less than 10% of people survive past age 85? And the brutal truth is that most deaths after 80 aren't natural at all. They're the result of hidden factors that most doctors never discuss with their patients, factors that silently accelerate aging and lead to premature death. Most people assume that living to 80 is already a good run. But what if you discovered that your body is designed to thrive well into your 90s or even past 100? What if the reason most people die in their early 80s isn't because of old age, but because of specific biological processes that you can actually control? Let me tell you about Stanley, a 76-year-old retired engineer from Connecticut who was given devastating news by his cardiologist. Advanced heart disease and kidney failure meant he likely had only 4 to 6 months to live. His family had begun making end-of-life arrangements, and Stanley himself had started giving away cherished possessions. But then something remarkable happened. While researching his conditions online, Stanley stumbled upon information about the hidden factors accelerating aging, factors his doctors had never mentioned. Desperate and with nothing to lose, he implemented specific changes to his lifestyle, diet, and supplement regimen. 3 months later, his follow-up tests showed such dramatic improvements that his doctor thought there had been a lab error. 6 months later, his kidney function had improved by 60%, and his cardiovascular markers showed significant recovery. Today, at 91, Stanley still drives, travels abroad twice yearly, and enjoys remarkably robust health, while many of his younger friends have long since passed away. The secret to his longevity wasn't luck or genetics. It was understanding and addressing the 5 critical factors I'm about to share with you. Reason 1. Chronic inflammation. The silent killer. Is your body literally aging twice as fast as it should because of invisible inflammation destroying your cells right now? Most people have no idea that their body is in a state of constant, low-grade inflammation that's silently damaging their organs, blood vessels, and brain tissue, setting them up for an early death. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that chronic inflammation is the primary driver of accelerated aging and is responsible for over 70% of age-related deaths. Dr. Andrew Wilson, Chief of Inflammatory Research at Harvard, explains, "What we've discovered is alarming. Chronic inflammation acts like internal rust, corroding tissues throughout the body. Most concerning is that standard blood tests only detect acute inflammation, completely missing this chronic, deadly process that accelerates aging by 50–300% in seniors." Take Elaine, a 73-year-old retired accountant from Oregon. She had been experiencing increasing fatigue, joint pain, and mental fogginess for years, but her doctors dismissed these as normal aging. When her cardiologist detected early signs of heart failure, she was terrified. Her daughter, a biochemist, suggested specialized testing that revealed extreme levels of inflammatory markers. Elaine completely eliminated the 3 most inflammatory foods from her diet: wheat, industrial seed oils, and added sugars. She also began taking specific anti-inflammatory compounds, including curcumin and omega-3 fatty acids. Within just 6 weeks, her energy improved dramatically. After 3 months, follow-up testing showed her inflammatory markers had decreased by 72%. By the 6-month mark, her heart function had improved so significantly that her cardiologist asked what medication she was taking. "None," she replied. "I just stopped poisoning my body with inflammatory foods." Today, 4 years later, Elaine hikes weekly and has more energy than she did a decade ago. Here's what you must do immediately. First, eliminate the 3 most inflammatory foods from your diet today: refined wheat products, vegetable oils, corn, soybean, canola, and safflower, and added sugars. These foods trigger inflammatory cascades throughout your body, accelerating aging and damaging organs. Second, Begin taking targeted anti-inflammatory compounds. Start with 1,500 milligrams of high-absorption curcumin with black pepper extract daily, 2 to 3 grams of high-quality omega-3 fish oil, and 500 milliliters of resveratrol. These compounds have been shown to reduce inflammatory markers by up to 86% in clinical studies. Don't wait until you're experiencing symptoms. By then, significant damage has already occurred. Every day, you continue consuming inflammatory foods. You're accelerating your aging process and potentially cutting years off your life. Is that extra cookie or fried food really worth dying earlier? Reason 2, hidden mitochondrial dysfunction. Did you know your cellular energy factories might be operating at less than 40% capacity, causing your organs to fail years earlier than they should? Your mitochondria, tiny powerhouses in every cell, are responsible for producing the energy that keeps your heart beating, your brain thinking, and your kidneys filtering. When they deteriorate, your entire body begins to fail, even if you're doing everything else right. Leading researchers at UCLA's Longevity Institute have discovered that mitochondrial dysfunction accelerates dramatically after age 70, but can be reversed with specific interventions. Dr. Jessica Parker, Director of Mitochondrial Research, warns, after age 70, mitochondrial function typically declines by 2 to 3% annually without intervention. This creates an energy crisis at the cellular level, causing organs to gradually shut down. What's most concerning is that this process is completely invisible until organs begin failing, yet it's one of the most reversible causes of aging. Consider Gregory, a 79-year-old former teacher from Arizona who began experiencing alarming muscle wasting and cognitive decline. Despite regular exercise and what he thought was a healthy diet, his strength diminished to the point where he needed help standing from a chair. His neurologist suggested he might need memory care within a year. Desperate, Gregory consulted a longevity specialist who immediately suspected mitochondrial dysfunction. Tests confirmed his mitochondria were functioning at just 37% of expected capacity. He started a targeted protocol of CoQ10, PQQ, L-carnitine, and intermittent fasting. The improvements were remarkable. Within just 30 days, his energy levels had noticeably increased. By the 3-month mark, he could rise from chairs unassisted, and his cognitive tests showed significant improvement. His doctor was baffled by his recovery. Today, 2 years later, Gregory lives independently, exercises daily, and shows better cognitive function than when he started the protocol. The solution is straightforward, but requires immediate action. Implement the 4-step mitochondrial restoration protocol starting today. First, begin taking mitochondrial support nutrients, 200 milliliters of CoQ10, the ubiquinol form, 20 milliliters of PQQ, and 1,000 milliliters of acetyl L-carnitine daily. These compounds have been shown to improve mitochondrial function by up to 70% in seniors. Second, implement time-restricted eating. Confine your daily food intake to an 8 to 10-hour window, which has been proven to trigger mitochondrial regeneration. Third, perform short bursts of intensive exercise. Even 4 minutes of high-intensity movement daily can stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis, creating new energy factories in your cells. Finally, reduce your carbohydrate intake to under 100 grams daily, forcing your body to rely more on fat metabolism, which places less strain on aging mitochondria. Don't wait for noticeable energy decline to take action. By then, significant mitochondrial damage has already occurred. The energy crisis happening in your cells right now is setting the stage for how long and how well you'll live. Will you continue to let your cellular batteries drain, or will you recharge them starting today? Reason 3. Impaired detoxification pathways. Is your body's natural cleansing system completely overwhelmed, allowing toxins to accelerate your aging by up to 300%? As you age, your detoxification pathways, primarily in your liver, kidneys, and lymphatic system, become dramatically less efficient, yet the toxic load you face actually increases with each passing year. Toxicologists at Johns Hopkins University have found that after age 70, natural detoxification pathways function at less than 30% of optimal capacity. Dr. Michael Stevens, lead researcher in geriatric toxicology, explains, "We've discovered that seniors' bodies accumulate toxins at 3 to 5 times the rate of younger adults due to decreased detoxification capacity. These toxins directly damage DNA, accelerate cellular aging, and significantly increase cancer risk. Most concerning is that conventional medical testing doesn't evaluate detox function until organ failure is imminent." Take Patricia, a 75-year-old retired nurse from Minnesota who began experiencing troubling symptoms: brain fog, extreme fatigue, and unexplained weight gain despite eating less. Multiple doctors suggested these were simply signs of aging, but Patricia knew something was wrong. After researching her symptoms, she consulted a functional medicine practitioner who tested her toxic burden and detoxification capacity. The results were shocking. Her body was accumulating heavy metals and environmental toxins at dangerous levels because her detoxification pathways were severely compromised. She immediately implemented a detox support protocol focusing on specific foods, supplements, and lifestyle practices. Within just 3 weeks, her mental clarity began returning. After 2 months, her energy had rebounded so dramatically that friends asked what medication she was taking. "I'm not adding anything," she told them. "I'm just helping my body remove what shouldn't be there." 6 months later, repeat testing showed her toxic burden had decreased by 64% and all her symptoms had resolved. Here's what you must do. Activate your body's natural detox systems with these 5 specific actions. First, consume detox-supporting foods daily. 1 cup of cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, which contain compounds that activate liver detoxification, and 2 tablespoons of freshly ground flaxseed to support bile flow and toxin elimination. Second, hydrate strategically with 12 ounces of lemon water first thing in the morning to stimulate kidney filtration and 1-2 cups of dandelion tea daily to support liver function. Third, add detox-enhancing supplements, 500 milligrams of N-acetylcysteine and 300 milligrams of alpha-lipoic acid daily to boost glutathione, your body's master detoxifier. Fourth, implement dry skin brushing before showering to stimulate lymphatic flow, moving toward your heart with gentle strokes. Finally, practice 20 minutes of movement daily that includes twisting and bending motions to physically stimulate detox organs. Your body is constantly trying to eliminate accumulated toxins, but it needs your help. With every passing day that your detoxification systems remain sluggish, you're accelerating your aging process. Isn't it time to stop this invisible poisoning? Reason 4, microbiome deterioration. Could the bacteria in your gut be determining whether you'll live to 80 or 100? Most people have no idea that the trillions of microorganisms in their digestive tract directly control inflammation levels, immune function, nutrient absorption, and even brain health, all critical factors in how long and how well you'll live. Scientists at the National Institute on Aging discovered that people who live past 95 have a distinctly different gut microbiome than those who die earlier. Dr. Elizabeth Harrison, microbiome specialist at the Institute, states, "The data is clear. Centenarians possess gut bacteria profiles that protect against inflammation, enhance nutrient absorption, and maintain gut barrier integrity." What's remarkable is that we can actually modify our gut microbiome at any age, potentially adding years or even decades to lifespan. Consider Franklin, a 81-year-old retired pharmacist from Michigan who began experiencing rapid health decline. Digestive issues, autoimmune flares, and recurring infections that landed him in the hospital 3 times in 6 months. His doctors were considering long-term care options when his granddaughter, a microbiologist, suggested comprehensive microbiome testing. The results revealed severe dysbiosis, a profound imbalance in his gut bacteria, with harmful inflammatory species dominating and beneficial protective strains almost absent. He immediately implemented a 3-phase microbiome restoration protocol. Within just 2 weeks, his digestive symptoms improved. After 2 months, he hadn't experienced a single infection. By 6 months, follow-up testing showed his microbiome profile had shifted dramatically, now resembling that of people who typically live into their late 90s. Today, 3 years later, Franklin plays tennis twice weekly and hasn't been hospitalized once. The solution requires immediate implementation. Follow the 3-phase microbiome restoration protocol starting today. Phase 1, weeks 1-2. Remove the foods that feed harmful bacteria. Eliminate all added sugars, processed foods, and artificial sweeteners completely. Simultaneously, take a broad-spectrum antimicrobial herbal blend containing oregano oil, berberine, and caprylic acid to reduce overgrowth of harmful microbes. Phase 2, weeks 3-6. Re-inoculate with beneficial bacteria by taking a clinically proven probiotic containing multiple bifidobacteria and lactobacillus strains at 50+ billion CFU daily, preferably with strains like Bifidobacterium longum and Lactobacillus plantarum, that research shows decline dramatically with age. Phase 3, ongoing. Feed your beneficial bacteria with prebiotic fibers. Consume 2 tablespoons of mixed prebiotic fibers daily, inulin, resistant starch, beta-glucans, and eat a diverse range of plant foods. Aim for 30+ different plant foods weekly. Your gut microbiome can be substantially transformed in as little as 3 weeks, but you must be consistent. Every meal either feeds your beneficial bacteria or harmful ones. The choice is yours. How long and how well you'll live is being determined by the bacteria in your gut right now. Will you continue to let harmful microbes accelerate your aging, or will you take control starting today? Reason 5. Cellular senescence accumulation. Are zombie cells literally eating away at your healthy tissue, causing rapid deterioration after age 75? These senescent cells that should have died but instead remain spewing out inflammatory compounds, may be the single biggest reason why most people's health collapses after 80. Groundbreaking research from the Mayo Clinic shows that senescent cells accumulate exponentially after 75, releasing compounds that damage healthy cells and accelerate organ failure. Dr. Nathan Rivera, cellular aging specialist, explains, senescent cells are perhaps the most underappreciated cause of aging. They secrete over 40 different inflammatory compounds that damage surrounding tissues. Essentially, one bad cell can poison an entire neighborhood of healthy cells. Our research shows that reducing senescent cell burden can extend lifespan and health span significantly, even when started late in life. Take Vivian, a 77-year-old retired librarian from Washington, who developed what 3 different specialists called irreversible lung fibrosis. She could barely walk across her living room without becoming winded, and oxygen therapy seemed inevitable. Desperate for alternatives, she connected with a researcher studying cellular senescence who suggested specific natural compounds that had shown promise in clearing senescent cells in clinical trials. With her doctor's approval, she began a protocol including fisetin, quercetin with dasatinib, and specific lifestyle changes. The results defied her doctor's expectations. After just 8 weeks, her breathing had noticeably improved. By 4 months, her lung function tests showed a 30% improvement, something her pulmonologist had said was medically impossible. CT scans confirmed that her fibrotic tissue was actually decreasing. Today, 2 years later, she walks 2 miles daily and no longer qualifies for the oxygen therapy she once seemed destined for. Here's the cellular rejuvenation protocol you should implement immediately. First, incorporate senolytic substances, compounds that clear senescent cells, through both supplementation and diet. Take 500 milliliters of quercetin with 100 milliliters of fisetin daily for 5 consecutive days each month. Research shows this periodic pulsing more effectively clears senescent cells than daily use. Second, implement a 3-day water-only or fasting-mimicking diet monthly, which has been shown to trigger autophagy, your body's cellular cleanup process. Third, practice strength training 2 to 3 times weekly. Resistance exercise has been shown to reduce senescent cell burden in muscle tissue by up to 40%. Finally, ensure optimal vitamin D levels. Aim for 50-80 lucid dun ml with testing, as research shows sufficient vitamin D reduces the formation of new senescent cells. Don't wait until your health begins noticeably declining. By then, senescent cells have already accumulated to dangerous levels. These zombie cells are silently damaging your tissues right now. Will you let them continue their destruction, or will you start clearing them today? These 5 factors, chronic inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction, impaired detoxification, microbiome deterioration, and cellular senescence, are the real reasons most people don't live past 80. They represent the cutting edge of longevity science, yet most conventional doctors never discuss them. The good news is that each of these processes can be directly influenced by specific actions you take starting today. This isn't about extending life for a few miserable years. It's about dramatically improving your health now while setting the stage for vibrant longevity into your 90s and beyond. Remember Stanley, who went from a terminal diagnosis at 76 to thriving at 91. His transformation wasn't miraculous. It was methodical, based on addressing these exact factors. You now have the blueprint that most people will never discover. The real reasons most people don't survive past 80 and the specific actions to avoid becoming a statistic. By addressing chronic inflammation, supporting mitochondrial function, enhancing detoxification, restoring your microbiome, and tackling cellular senescence, you can literally transform your health trajectory starting today. These aren't theoretical concepts. They're practical, actionable strategies backed by cutting-edge research that can add decades of healthy living to your life. If you found this information valuable, hit the like button right now and comment below with which of these 5 factors surprised you most. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to receive more life-saving information that mainstream medicine isn't telling you. Share this video with someone you care about who wants to extend their healthy years. You might literally be saving their life.